I don't like your movie reviews. I don't care. Fugitive, released in 1993 and is directed by Andrew Davis, who's also behind such films like Above the Law, Under Siege, Chain Reaction, A Perfect Murder, and Holes. And this film is starring Harrison Ford, Tommy Lee Jones, Sela Ward, Joe Pantoliano, Andreas Katsoulas, and Jeroen Krab. And the reason why we're talking about The Fugitive today is because it was a PayPal recommendation and donation from a longtime contributor and supporter of this channel, Dr. Camp. Thank you very much once again, for the recommendation. And this is the final film in that bundle that you sent me at the end of last year. So finally happy that I was able to get all of them reviewed. And I look forward to your next bundle that you send me and all the next recommendations that you are jotting down, you're sending over. Thank you very much. And if anyone else out there also wants to be like Dr. Camp and help support me and contribute to this channel, you can select the QR code that is in the bottom left corner of your screen right now. Send over your donation of $5 or more with your movie recommendation. And if I have access to it, I will watch it, review it, and give you a little shout out, just like what I did with Dr. Camp here. Dr. Joseph Kimble has recently been framed for murdering his wife. Thankfully, though, on a bus ride towards his execution, the bus is overturned and hit by a train, allowing Richard Kimble to escape. So now the U.S. Marshals are called in to hunt down Dr. Kimble, led by U.S. Marshal Sam Gerard, played by Tommy Lee Jones, and what follows is one magnificent masterpiece of cat and mouse hunting. I always forget how awesome and how great this movie is. I felt my blood pressure rise the longer I watched this movie for this review, because I've seen this movie so many times. I know what happens. I could probably quote majority of it if I really applied myself, but every single time I'm like, God, you gotta get moving. They're right there. They're right behind you. Get moving, Kimble. Get going! And this movie is so iconic, even still in pop culture. The whole sewer scene where he's standing at the edge of the sewer with that waterfall, and Tommy Lee Jones is telling him, I don't care if you killed or you didn't kill your wife. I'm just here to capture you. It's an iconic scene that has been duplicated and has been parodied over and over and over again, but it doesn't beat the original, and it doesn't beat the chemistry that we have between Harrison Ford and Tommy Lee Jones. They don't share a lot of screen time with each other, but my God, their character development on their own and how they foil each other and complement each other, and all through the editing and directing process, it makes you want both of them to succeed, but they can't both succeed unless Kimble proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that he's innocent, because Tommy Lee Jones here is awesome. I'd say that this is his best role he's ever done. He's stern, he's funny, he's hilarious, he's badass. I love watching him interrogate people because he has this boyish joyness about himself. He knows that I'm pure of heart. I have done no wrong, and I never break the law. Everyone else out there has something against them that I can exploit. So I love just hearing people spin stories and come up with BS that I love just plucking out. He's just sitting there and he's smiling through all of his questions. When in reality, we're talking about a very serious situation where many people believe that Kimble was framed and that he did not kill his wife, but he's just there like, yeah, I'm gonna find this son of a bitch. And Harrison Ford is fantastic here as well. Again, another one of his great roles. Probably not as great, or definitely not as iconic as Indiana Jones or Han Solo, of course. But it's just more proof that he doesn't need those franchises to be an amazing actor, because he can just pull out this film that's not a franchise. It's based on a TV show, of course. But he's such a great actor that he can make everything his own. The pacing here is fantastic. I never feel like there's a lull in the story at all. Even the moments that do slow down, we have those dream sequences when Kimble is picturing his wife and just how much he loves her, and then having those flashback scenes of the one-armed man and his tussle and his fight with him. Even in those slow scenes, it doesn't feel like this film slows down at all. This thing grabs your attention and you are invested. At least I was invested 100% of the time. There is only one sequence in here, and specifically, there's only one line in here that takes me out of this film. And ever since watching this movie in the early 90s for the first time, it has stuck with me ever since, because the line and the situation, makes no sense at all in the story. Joseph Kimble is a surgeon. He is a doctor. He's never been a soldier. He's never been framed for murder previously. So about halfway through this movie, the U.S. Marshals, they're reconducting all of the interviews of all the witnesses of the Kimble trial leading up to his sentencing. They're going back to the original witnesses. And one of them is played by Jane Lynch, who is a doctor herself. She's a lab analysis of some kind. And they're asking her about Kimble and what he does and what his mindset is. And they ask her some type of question of like, do you think he would come back here, or do you think he would be running like this way? And she gets this smirk on her face and she says something to the effect of, no, he wouldn't do that. That's not his style. What? How the fuck do you know what his style is? Has he been on the run from the law before and has come to you for help previously? Like, how do you know what his avoiding the cop style is for you to comment on what and what not is his style? It's one line, it is 5 seconds long in this masterpiece of a movie, but the one piece of dialogue, it just gets in here, and it annoys the crap out of me. Because the line doesn't make sense. Everything else in this movie, yeah, it makes sense. Sure, he can jump out of a sewer waterfall like a couple 100 feet and survive the fall. That's fine. That makes sense to me. But the one line of, no, he wouldn't slow down for you or go there. That's not his style. That's the piece that I'm hung up on, and that gets me. But that micro moment aside, this movie is excellent. It is a masterpiece of a cop thriller, of a cat and mouse chase. Tommy Lee Jones, again, is fantastic. Harrison Ford is great. Even the entire U.S. Marshal team is fantastic. Joe Pantoliano, who plays like his second in command, Tommy Lee Jones' second in command, he plays off of him great. I love this movie so much. I could watch this, and actually I have when I first started watching this in the 90s. We had a VHS tape of this movie, and I don't think my parents realized that I was pulling it out and watching it, but I was definitely watching this on repeat. I would have watched it at least twice, maybe 3 times a day, and I could still do that now. I haven't done it in several years, watched this movie, but watching it for this review, Dr. Camp, thank you so much. It just reminds me how frickin' fantastic this movie is. I'm gonna give The Fugitive 4.5 out of 5 Blu-rays.
It's good. It's good. Good.
So guys, if you've seen The Fugitive, what did you think about it? Or if you've never seen it before and you've stumbled across it because of this video, then comment below and let me know what you thought about it. And as always, if you like what you see here, if you like my take on movies, then hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell so the next time I'm released next movie review. So guys, I will see you next time on the channel, but in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.